Mike is currently a Dad Matters coordinator working within Health and Inequalities. The list that the ladies shared before of those dads that are seldom seen in services, Mike works with a caseload of those dads and engages those communities. He also was a service user for us a few years ago now. His story is powerful. It's very emotional. Please look after yourself if you need to. Check in with yourself later on and reach out if you need some support. And over to you, Mike. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Mike, and I would like to start by saying thank you for giving me this opportunity to be here tonight to share my family story. And sorry, I'm getting a bit emotional already because some of the facts are quite hard hitting.
That's okay, Mike. You take time.
Take all the time you need, Mike. Absolutely.
And I'm going to talk about how Dad Matters saved my life. I'm going to tell you about my life as a dad with autism and how traumatic events shaped my journey into fatherhood. So I had to imagine a time before my son Atlas was born. It actually feels like he's always been here. Before Atlas was born, life was simple. I'd go to work, I'd get ready, have my tea, and then head out and go and play snooker. And that was literally what I did. I would work, snooker, sleep. Then in 2020, the pandemic hit, and like everyone else, I was stuck inside. During the COVID-19 lockdown, on the 2nd of April, I actually found out I was going to be a dad. Now, with my autism, I don't usually have a filter, but in that moment, I had no words. Due to the COVID-19 restrictions, I was actually unable to attend any scans, but my fiancée Maz always returned home and told me about a service called Dad Matters, that she heard about them and saw all the posters around the hospital during her antenatal appointments. I didn't think much of it at the time. At the time, I was a youth worker. I worked with children and young people. I thought I'd be fine, but nothing could have prepared me for what was to come. On the 28th of November 2020, my son Atlas was born, healthy at £7.12. I remember getting the phone call at 5 in the morning, and I raced to the hospital, very excited, so excited to meet Atlas, who I now call and always will call my little legend. The day after, when we brought Atlas home, it was our first night as a family. It felt complete. We celebrated with a steak dinner, and it felt perfect until things suddenly changed. Atlas didn't seem quite right. Maz begun to worry, so we rang 111 for some advice. The reason we rang was due to Atlas breathing funny. By the time we got through to an operator, Atlas, we assumed, was asleep. As we know, one of the first questions they ask is, are they conscious and breathing? We said he was asleep. So they asked us to wake him. Fortunately, we couldn't. The operator spoke 8 words I'll never forget. I'm sorry, but you have to initiate CPR. In that moment, my world came crashing down, but I was able to give Atlas the initial life breaths and begun the chest compressions. And somehow, I got Atlas to breathe again. My front room filled with lights, and the whole experience felt out-of-bodied, as though I was a witness. Once I realised Atlas was breathing again, and the realisation that I saved my son hit me, the out-of-body experience had ended, and I cried. A few days later, the reality of trauma hit me, and I said to Maz, I need help. And that's when I reached out to Dad Matters through the website. Swiftly and quickly, Kieran had emailed me the next day, telling me I wasn't alone, and I had been matched with a coordinator named Dan. Just that one reply, just knowing that I was normal, made such a difference. Unfortunately, over the days and weeks that followed, Atlas had more struggles with his breathing, more hospital visits, and a lot more worry. This led me to some very dark places mentally. Fortunately, I didn't face it on my own. I had my family and a team and a service called Dad Matters in my corner. Dan listened to me, he guided me, he empowered me and enabled me to be a dad. And if it wasn't for those lessons and those opportunities to speak with Dan, the day that Atlas saved my life, the day he woke up crying, I would not be here, because I would not have understood the true power of attachment and bonding that saved my life, just as I saved Atlas's life. So I'd like to say to all of you here today that your support makes it possible. Without it, dads like me would potentially slip through the cracks. But because of you, I had someone to turn to. I would like to finally say, from the bottom of my heart, Atlas's, my fiancée Maz, and on behalf of all the dads out there, thank you.
Mike, thank you so much for sharing your story with us this evening. I feel like I could speak for a full day and I wouldn't have landed the important message of just how critical support is for dads in this time half as well as you have. So thank you so much for your bravery and for sharing your story with us this evening. It really does mean an awful lot. Thank you.
Thank you for your words.
I'll let you take a moment to read the comments, because everyone is also describing you as a legend, Mike. So you take a drink and just notice how much gratitude there is in the virtual room for you sharing your story with us this evening.